Well, I'm back at it on this M20, and unfortunately it's still oozing out that beautiful frosty mess. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and wheel this thing into my backyard, and so I can have it over gravel, so when I flip it over I don't even have to worry about the mess. I just don't want to clean it up in my garage again, so I'm gonna wheel it outside. Just finished breaking off the oil pan outside. Got the rest of that sledge out of the block, most of it anyways. And from down here, everything looks pretty solid. I'm gonna go ahead and start breaking off the mains, and then I'll take off the rods. But first things first, get the oil pump out of the way. So I took a slight detour and realized I'm not gonna be able to do much of anything without taking off the front cover here and the rear main cover as well. So I had to break off the gear that spins the oil pump, and now I just got to get off the hub here, but it's being kind of a pain. I'm gonna have to get a long breaker bar. So my impact gun is not breaking the crank bolt loose, and I'm not able to get it with my breaker bar. I've gone and grabbed a good length of pipe here, probably 3 or 4 feet, and I'm gonna try torquing on it. But first I'm gonna set you guys up to watch. So the problem with doing this by yourself is the second you start applying torque, the engine stand is just going to want to flip over. So I've set myself up here so that I'm on the side that would want to tip, so that I can put my foot on the front of the engine stand and I'll be able to hold it down with my weight as I pull on the bar. If you were on the other side pushing down, the whole thing would just flip over on you. There we go. Success. All right, just took a little bit of leverage. Now I can get this hub off, pull off that front timing cover. Wow, the lighting in here is horrible. I am sorry for that. Slides right off, man. Once you get the hub off and the oil pump gear off, there are 2 bolts underneath the oil pump gear here and 1 bolt right here as well, and then the assembly should slide off. There we go. Now we just got to break off the back cover here, which is a couple of, well, 4 10mm bolts and 2 13s, and then we can disassemble everything else, find out what we're looking at inside. Timing cover clear. We got the back cover. It won't come off because it's hitting the engine stand, but it'll come out with the crank, so that's okay. We're just gonna go ahead and break off all the main bolts now. We'll just hit it with the impact real quick. Can't remember whether or not those are torqued to yield. The head bolts are torqued to yield, so I threw those away. Not gonna be reusing them. May not be reusing this engine, but who knows. Got the mains broken loose here. I haven't taken a peek in any of them yet, but let's see what we've got. Wow. Looks like some sort of oxidation has been happening on the mains, but it's not, I can't feel it with my fingernail, but it's definitely discolored, like pitting, in a pitting fashion. I don't know if you guys can tell, but you can't see it here, but you can definitely see it there. Maybe it's just oil staining, but I feel like you'd see that on the bearing. I don't know. Let's pull off the rest. So it seems like all the main journals have that blackish discoloration that's embedded in the metal. Like I said, I can't feel it with my fingernails. I think maybe a micro polish would take it out, but I don't know that I'm going to use this, like I said. So let's go ahead and pull the rod caps off and get the crank out. Rod journals are looking in a lot better shape than the mains, but I'm really not so sure that that damage on the mains is anything to be worried about, honestly. I mean, they were all still had oil on them, and you can't feel it, so if you keep my fingers crossed on that one. Also, the bearings and the caps looked really good, so we're gonna go ahead and pull the crank out now and see if we can't knock these pistons out. Bottom side doesn't look bad either. I guess that would actually be the top side. But here you can see all the bearings. Let's grab a hold of one of these pistons and see if we can't twist it. Oh no. Oh, this one moves. And it comes out actually too. Move this thrust bearing out of the way. Oh, you know what? I'm so stupid. The pistons have to go out the top. So that's actually going to be a big problem. I don't know. This one moves. That one doesn't. That one doesn't. That one doesn't. So we got 1 and 6 that move. How odd is that? Okay. I'll be right back with you guys. Let me figure something out here. Well, it looks like we lost this battle. I got piston 1 and 6 out really smooth. But 2, 3, 4, and 5 are not going to budge. At least not with any type of gentle force that I've been able to attempt to do. They won't even rotate. So I am going to beat this shit out of them with my 2-pound sludge, and we'll see if we can knock them out anyways before we throw this thing away. Might be a little fun. I should probably wear some glasses. Ooh. No. Nothing yet. Well, I'm just getting oil splattered all over my face. Let's try number 5 real quick. If we don't get nothing, we're loading this in the back of the truck, taking it to the scrapyard tomorrow. Might have moved a little bit. Hey, it broke loose. It doesn't really matter now because the rods are ruined. Yo, let's see if we can knock the other ones out. 1. Well, I'm gonna call it a wrap. I'm pretty sure that one moved down a little bit, but these two, nothing. And I did manage to punch 5 out, but it's beat to hell. I would say I'd keep this crap to make metal art, but I know I'm never going to do that. So into the back of my truck it goes, and off to the recycle yard. So overall, out of the purchase, we got a good oil pan, a good head, good intake manifold, a good wiring harness, good crankshaft, and timing covers are good too. So all in all, not a bad deal for $100. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this loaded in the truck, get rid of it tomorrow, and jump back on Yvette so that I can get it out of the shop and get some other projects going again. Have a good night, guys.